Not sure on how to find the best wedding venues in London and fast? By the end of this video, you will have our foolproof venue searching steps on how to find a venue in London quickly and efficiently. For the best uncensored wedding planning advice so you can cut through the crap and plan your wedding with ease, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also the notifications bell so that you can be notified every single Tuesday when we upload a new video. As a former wedding planner, I have used these steps with clients living inside and outside of London to find a wedding venue which matches their ideal wedding venue criteria. And now it's your turn. So number one, the first thing that you want to do is sit down together. Yes, this is a task that you can both do hand in hand as a wedding couple. Two heads are always better than one, and so this will cut the time in half, finding and making a short list of venues which meet your ideal wedding venue criteria. Number two, outline your wedding venue specifications and priorities. Now, in a previous video, we talked about the foundations and everything that you should do. I think it was about 9 steps before you kickstart your wedding planning. Now, the first thing, or the second thing that we said was really important, but the most important thing was outlining your priorities as a couple for your wedding day. It's important that you do the same thing for your wedding venue. So sit down and each of you decide on 5 priorities for your wedding. By the time you finish, you should have 10 in total combined. Now, I'm going to put a list in the description box, or maybe a download link, I haven't decided yet, of all of the priorities that are applicable to your wedding venue. Once you have those 10, between you pick 5 which mean the most to both of you. You'll find that some of them will probably overlap anyway, so it'll be really easy for you to do. Those 5 are going to help you with the next step. So let's move on to number 3. So step number 3, if your main priority was food and catering, this next step is applicable to you, and the following step will be applicable to anyone regardless of what their priorities were. Now, this is where you can really quickly hone down on the amount of time it takes you to find a venue in London. If you have a specific caterer that you both want for your wedding, who you have used for all family celebrations, who you found at someone else's wedding, where the food and the service were absolutely phenomenal and amazing, it is really important at this stage to go to that caterer's website.
So Payal is a caterer that we have identified who does this beautifully. You can go straight to the venues tab on their homepage and straight away scroll down to, they list international venues. They're everywhere. You can scroll down straight away and see all of the locations where Payal provides catering services. So it's listed the locations and all of the venues that they can access in those locations. So they're in Manchester, Lancashire, Yorkshire, Newcastle, Sheffield, Cheshire. They are everywhere. If you go to the south, focusing on London, they list a great selection of venues which are really fantastic and gorgeous. Just to name a few, Turenbury Farm is a personal favourite, Head's a House, which we love. So then if we go to Favour Catering, these are caterers that we have used on a number of different occasions. Again, they make it really easy for you. There's a venue tab on their homepage. You click on that and it takes you to a list of all the venues that they are located at. So you've got Tithe Barn again, Braxted Park, Northbrook, Kew Gardens, loads of different spaces which are really highly recommended. Why I wanted to show you this list for Favour Catering is that I know for a fact that Head's House is another venue which they can provide catering services for, but it isn't listed here.
Once you have that information, you can now go and give your caterer a call. There may be some venues which they have not listed yet or they haven't updated their site recently. So just give them a ring and see whether or not there are more venues available for you to kind of shortlist. So rather than start looking for venues with the idea that you really want a specific caterer and then finding out that that venue won't allow you to use that caterer, do this first. Number 4, you are going to love me after this one, I hope. Directories. Now, there are loads of directories out there that you can search for your wedding venue. However, the one that I would say stands out the most for us is Coco Wedding Venues. Now, the reason why Coco Wedding Venues stands out for us is not only the look and feel of the site, it's the functionality and the ease at which you can find a space which is perfectly suited to you and your vision for your wedding day. So, what we're going to do now is talk you through Coco Wedding Venues and how amazing it is.
This is the Coco Wedding Venues site. So if you just go straight in, you'll be taken to the homepage, and straight away they'll start to show you a list of stunning venues that they have. Now you can firstly go and just start your search here, but before you do, just scroll down, because what they have, which is really great, is a list of categories of different venue styles. So for example, if you have a rustic wedding venue, if you're looking for a rustic wedding venue, they put here how these venues will match your criteria. So back to nature, mismatched attire, tweed, lace, freshly picked flowers. If this matches your criteria, they've done the same over here: classic elegance, coastal cool, bohemian beats, and they've defined the different types of venue styles. So we're going to click on classic elegance, and we're going to look at those venues. Now this is the same as if you had gone straight to start a search, but what it does is it whittles down straight away all of the venues which meet within the venue style that you're looking for, classic elegance. So it does a lot of the hard work for you. However, you still want to go and whittle that down. So if you just scroll to the top, this is what you would have seen if you had gone straight to search for your venue, a number of different categories for you to choose from. Now they've got location, capacity, venue type, and wedding style. If we go into location first, it gives you all of the locations within the UK. Now obviously this video is all about finding a wedding venue, get my teeth in London fast. So we're going to go to London, but if you're searching for anywhere else or considering areas outside of London, again, this site will work perfectly. So it gives you all of the different options within London: central, east, north, south, and west. We're going to go with central London. And then you've got capacity. So in the capacity section, it's giving you all of these cute categories to define your wedding dependent on capacity. What I would say is the majority of the couples that we have between 100 to 300 within their wedding. So I'm going to go with the party one. And then you've got venue type. So here you can choose the type of venue that you want. So you've already decided on the type of style that you want from your venue, and you know the location and the capacity. But here you can go further into looking at your priorities. So for example, if you want a dry hire space, now dry hire is when you have a space and you have literally no restrictions on that space. So you can bring in your own caterer, you bring in all of your own supplies. You are just getting four walls in most cases, a ceiling and a roof. Maybe some tables and chairs, but that will depend on the different venues. If you have an elderly relative and you need disabled facilities, it's all in here. If you're looking for a festival themed wedding, it is all in here. So we're going to go with dry hire, because dry hire is really difficult to find within London, and I want to explain something else to you later on. And then you go down to wedding style. Now we've already clicked classic elegance, but I'm also going to click rustic romance, so it'll give us a few different variations. But again, if you want to see the other venues that are coming up within these categories, you can go and play around with that. It's all dependent on how solid you are in your venue criteria specifications that we outlined earlier on. So straight away, we've got a featured venue on the top, which have probably paid for that spot and maybe won't necessarily fit in with your criteria, but you can check them out. All of the other venues that are listed should match your criteria in most of the ways that you have selected, if not all. So dry hire is really hard to find in London. If we go into Shoreditch Studios, and we can just do a quick view, and it will give you all of the information that you need really quickly. So we can see that it falls within the capacity of 120 to 150 for the ceremony, but also for the reception. And we can have even more guests for the reception. So at a minimum, 120 guests can attend your entire wedding from the beginning to the end, with more being able to be invited for the evening reception. What I want you to note here is for catering, it says couple's choice. Now, if you want a dry hire space, you want to be able to bring in your own caterer, couple's choice is what you will be looking for whenever you do a quick view with all of the venues. They also go into whether or not pets are welcome, if you have the venue exclusively, if there's any accommodation available on site, if they have a late license, if they have a license for you to be married there. It's all in this section. You can go into venue details to get further information. You can look at more pictures of the venue, what it looks like set up. All of the information you need to know is on the top. And again, you scroll down and you get further information. You get their direct contact information. So you could contact them straight away from here, but I wouldn't recommend that. There's a step that you need to do before you go into that. And also really important, testimonials. So down here, you've got real life testimonials from couples who have used this space for their wedding. So you can read through these testimonials and get a really good feel for how good the venue is. So we're going to go back to the original page and all of the venues that they gave us. So just to let you know the difference, if you look at Hotel Cafe Royal, which I know has in-house catering, here you go, in-house catering. So here, the couple does not have a choice. There is a specific caterer that Hotel Cafe Royal have that they use, and you are tied to using that caterer only. So it is not dry hire for this space. So the next step would be to create a shortlist. So literally, Coco make it really easy. Here is a link. You just click on that and you've been added to the shortlist. Now we're going to add a few different spaces to the shortlist. So let's go with RSA House. Also Ennismore Sessions, the White Horse, just to give you an idea of all of the different venues that are here. So then you go into view your shortlist and it will take you through to all of the venues that you have shortlisted, which is amazing. So there are a few in there that I put in there previously, but here you will be able to see every single venue which kind of struck a chord with you. You can then contact, this is another great feature that they have on the site, you can contact all of the venues at once. So they'll allow you to use a wedding contact form. They've got a picture of all of the venues there. You can again at this point remove any that you've changed your mind about or you don't like the look of. You then go into venue details, you fill out all of your information here, the year you're getting married, the amount of guests approximately, and you submit your form. Now, after you've done that, your message is sent out to your chosen venues and you receive a copy of that email as well. The venue will then get in contact with you directly from the information that you have requested on this form. It's amazing. Amazing. They make it so easy.
So now you know why I rave so much about Coco wedding venues. They are not the only directory available in the market, so do your research, and also we'll leave a few links to great ones that we found in the description box so you can play around with them. However, I would say that this one will show you an array of spaces and leave you spoiled for choice. So comment below and let us know if you are looking for a dry hire space or looking for a package option for your wedding. We know how hard it is to find dry hire spaces within London. So I'm going to leave a link for a few dry hire spaces that we know have which are really, really amazing and flexible. And also, if you have come across any, we would love to know about them. So just drop a link in the description below to their website or the name of the caterer themselves so that we can check it out too. Making a shortlist is super important. When you're actually going through the Coco Wedding Venues site, tick everything which appeals to you, no matter what the reason might be or how small it might be. Tick every venue that you come across which speaks to you. You are able to make a shortlist within the platform. Once you've done that together, go to the shortlist and then use your wedding venue priorities and specifications, which you should have already outlined as a couple, to shortlist that shortlist even further. By the end of that, you shall have maybe 5, 6, 3 venues which meet that criteria. The next step is to pick up the phone and get in touch with those venues. Pay attention at this point. How you are greeted and spoken to from the initial stages will set the standard and tone for your entire wedding. Now, you don't want them to be all over you, but you want them to be warm, attentive, and really efficient. So pay attention to how they greet you, how easily it is to be directed to the person that you need to speak to. And when you get through to them, make sure that they have a direct contact number or email address that you can use going forward to save you time whenever you need to speak to them next. We did a video which outlined all of the questions to ask your wedding venue before you book and before you even go onto a site visit. So make sure that you check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description box below. So make sure that you're asking all of the right questions. You'll find it super, super easy and super fun if you do it this way. So now you know exactly what to do to source your wedding venue within a matter of minutes. Work together as a team. Don't forget to use your top 5 priorities, and also go to the link in the description box below, or the list in the description box below, which will outline all of the priorities that you can choose from for your wedding venue search. It's that easy. Also, before you leave, we have started up a Facebook community of like-minded wedding planning bosses like yourselves, so that you can talk to each other and also get advice, tips, and free, uncensored wedding planning guidance from ourselves. So make sure you go to the link in the description box below to join us there, and we look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any wedding planning friends out there who are also on this journey, don't forget to let them know about this channel so that we can support you all together. Check out these videos on the 14 things that your guests don't care about, and also how to kickstart your wedding planning with ease. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also ring that notifications bell so that you'll be notified every single Tuesday when we upload a new post.